Hey, everybody, welcome back to this live episode of Think Business Live. I'm looking forward to talking to Paris, who's the founder and CEO of Diva Hustler Radio.com. Paris, it is great to see you and it's great to meet you. And I'm looking forward to our talk today. You have this radio station that you started in 2018, and with really the goal and the intent and the vision of bridging the gaps of different cultures and bringing them under one platform. I love what you're doing, and give us a little bit more insight into how this radio station came about.
Growing up, I always been into music. A few years ago, I had started a podcast that was Care to Talk. Then from there, we branched off into another podcast show, which is the Diva Hustle Show, but we were under another radio station. And just being able to reach different people of different backgrounds and hearing a story, their journey, whether it was they was barking upon being artists or business or entrepreneurs. And so just being able to connect with different people from different backgrounds, I just wanted to be able to have a platform to give them that opportunity to come tell a story on our radio station.
Yeah. It's so important to share your story. I want to share your story, a quick bio on you. Single mother, educator, artist, and a successful entrepreneur. You have inherited the endless fight for women's rights to social and economic equality. Your dream is to see a day when your rich heritage, history, and efforts are recognized as a vital component in progressive America, an America that sees our color as a strength and not as a threat, as we address the concerns of communities nationwide with diligence and urgency. By providing our youth with exceptional education and resources that they need, you believe that we guarantee a strong future for our descendants and their offspring. I'm on the same page, and so I love that we're talking about this. And so when you talk about giving everybody a place to tell their story, we all learn from stories and we all learn from lessons. What type of stories are you trying to pull out?
I just want to be able to pull out that everyone wasn't born with a silver spoon in their mouth, meaning you don't have to come from a rich family to become successful. Success is measured in different ways. And just, realizing that you just like, let's say a Beyonce or, Michelle Obama, they all had barriers and obstacles that they had to overcome in their journey in life, but they didn't stop while they were trying to succeed and complete their goals. So just being able so people can resonate that, saying like, just because I hit that one barrier, that don't mean that it's not meant for me to be an entrepreneur, or it's not meant for me to be a rapper, or it's not meant for me to be a singer. Just knowing that these same people that you look up to every day, they have overcame these obstacles, and you have to just keep pushing forward.
Yeah. How do you push forward when you feel like you can't take that next step?
I mean, you really have to look at you have to realize that is you want more out of life. That's how you have to push forward. You have to have that drive. You have to have that courage, and that's an inner voice that you have inside yourself. You can't listen to the negative voice. You have to listen to the positive voice. That's why you have to really surround yourself with positive people that will keep you and understand your journey and what you're trying to achieve. And now with that courage and empowerment, you'll be able to continue to the next step.
So when it comes to, your journey in starting a radio station, let's dive into you as the entrepreneur, right? Mm-hmm. So how do you even start a radio station? I mean, that's, to decide you want a radio station, then you need the talent, then you need to get it exposure. And so how do you do that? Because it seems like, what a great idea. Everyone's on their computers and phones anyway, so why not do it online? So give us a little bit of insight about how you had the idea and then how you started cultivating it and building it online.
So like before when we started out, like I said, we were under another radio station. That radio station just one day we chose up to do our taping and they were closed. So just knowing like, I like what I was doing, I enjoyed it. I like the platform and being able to like again have people tell their stories and meet new people. So I just started doing my research online and I'm like, okay, I can do my own. And then also learning where other people fell short at. That was key too, because you don't, it's all about learning. You don't have to recreate the wheel, but you just have to know where people fell short, why this didn't work out for that
Right.
person. So doing my research and just finding out, okay, you have to have this music license, you have to do this, and like you were saying, then it's the marketing part, and then it's the music part. Then you have to get the interviews, then you have to get the shows. So just doing a lot of research and putting plans in place, and knowing when, okay, I'm not good at this. I have to outsource this part of the business, which you have to understand as an entrepreneur is good. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. That's great. What's the biggest lesson you learned as an entrepreneur?
The biggest lesson I learned as an entrepreneur, is just surrounding yourself to me with positive people.
Yeah.
Um, and going with your gut. Go with your inner voice and your gut feeling. If something don't feels right, then that means it's not right. And also you have to be an expert in what you're providing. Like for me, when I was starting a radio station again, I mean, it was hours and hours of research that went into, okay, how do you do this and what license and, what other license you have to do. And far as the marketing part, do you want to become syndicated? Do you not want to become syndicated? Because again, that limits your market of who have access to your music and your shows. So again, you just have to be an expert and you have to know like where you see the field, where you see your company going in 5 years. So you have to do a lot of due diligence and doing a lot of research, which is key.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Uh, Hold on, I just want to make a note of what you just said because I think it's really smart. You got to be forecasting and looking at your business where it is 5 years. I want to talk about you. One of the things that your publicist, sent me was, you're an educator, you're an artist, you're a successful entrepreneur, but you also inherited the endless fight for women's rights. To social and economic equality. And as we sit today in December of 2020, 7% of the Fortune 500 CEOs are women. There's some new CEOs that are coming in 2021, so that'll take that number to 8%. But women, I can't remember the stat off the top of my head, but there is a wage gap. Some, I think, will say it's like 10 to 20% difference, and sometimes more in different industries. And so talk about, what that fight looks like, right? And what can women do and what can men do to help bridge that, narrow that gap?
I mean, well, looking at it, even for myself, being working at my previous employment, just knowing that me as a black woman, even though I may have had the educational part, my rate or my hourly rate was always lower than my other counterparts that were of Caucasian or another ethnic group. So we have to. I really, how can I say this? One, it's a fight. Women's rights has always been a fight since decades back. We have to get in front of the fight. And that's my whole point
Uh-huh.
of having a radio station is that because even in music, you have a lot of female, it's not as many female artists, because they come out and say like, well, it can only be one Beyonce and one Cardi B and this one person. Whereas if you're on the other opposite side of it, where you're the record company, now you have a female record company, you know what I'm saying? You can control the narrative
Yeah.
versus you being on the other side of it. So us as females, I feel like we have to get on the other side of it, whether it's being having a seat at the table or even like now we have a VP, right? Kamala Harrison, which is excellent. Just being
Great.
able to get in that position means that okay, we can, if we all pull together, we can get and make change. And that's what's really key. And men have to really, we have to have the conversation that it exists, that women right exists, that the economic gap, the wealth gap for women, and it does exist. And you have to be able to take a stand. A lot of times people don't even want to have the conversation that a male will in the workplace will make more than a female. And then it's like, well, oh, because y'all have attitudes, or because y'all this and y'all that don't have nothing to do with it. If on paper these two individuals have the same criteria, why aren't they getting the same amount of money and they're doing the same job?
Yeah. And not to mention that the ideas that they generate, study after study will point to more women around the table, more diversity around the table. Is, when you talked earlier, see where your company's going in 5 years. If you have everybody looking the same around a table today and 5 years from today, you cannot grow a business. I mean, right. You need the different perspectives and the different lenses, because every idea is priceless, and the best right. ideas come from the previous ideas. And I've been around board tables where I will say to the owners, like, you need more diversity here, because all these people think and act and dress and look exactly the same. And so I hope we're sitting here 5 years from today, Paris, and the boardrooms are evolving to something that have more diversity, because that's where the ideas are going to come from. Studies are pointing to pre-COVID that 85% of the jobs that exist in the year 2030 don't exist today. They're also pointing to that 75% of the global workforce will be millennials by 2025. And that generation demands diversity. Yes. They feed off of diversity and wanting and appreciating different perspectives from different backgrounds and things of that nature. So I hope, as we sit here today, that and as you continue to fight for my 14-year-old daughter, that things begin to evolve. Let's talk about music and how music unites, and how music and words can really bring people together in a way that most really nothing can. And so talk a little bit about the beauty of music and the role it has in bringing more equality to the world.
Well, music, I always say, is like a universal language. I was watching a movie and they were saying how in another country they learn how to speak English based off listening to music, right? Yeah. Doing karaoke. So just that part of just knowing that music is able to connect so many people to understanding this one culture or this one meaning. Like, you can listen to a song and it might have been from the 1970s, and you be like, yo, it makes you reminisce about what you were doing during that time. So just that powerful impact. And and you can listen to some music and it can say, well, you know what, I'm having a bad day, and you'll put this music on, and next thing you know, your spirits change, you're up, you're dancing, moving around. So music is so impactful. That's why it's really important. Like, we have to have music in our schools. We have to have more extracurriculum activities as far as music, because everybody resonates different. Some people are talkers, some people can do music and able to communicate in poetry. So we need more artists of activities in our schools.
Yeah. I love it. And so let's talk a little bit about to the person who's inspired by music, right? And today, maybe they wanted to be a DJ, or maybe they wanted to do this, and they're just very musically inclined, and and with technology today, you can do so many things that you maybe couldn't do 5-10 years ago. And so talk to that person who's maybe in college or graduating college, or in their 30s or 40s, that have a love of music, but they're stuck in corporate America and they need another outlet. How does somebody kind of even maybe, get to be part of your station or listen to your station, or just kind of chat about that for a minute?
So, I mean, we're on the main reason why like we did the online radio again because everybody's on their phone now. And you're on the computer. Most people don't really be in the car. Even if you're in the car, you're connecting your phone. I know myself, I connect my phone to my car and I'm listening to music. The good thing is now in 20 and 2021 is like you're saying, we have so much technology where, you could just download an app and record a song,
Yeah.
or or you could just say now, okay, I want to do music, teach music lesson, guitar lessons, and that could just be you go on Facebook and you start a little group and you might charge what, $1, whatever your price is, and next thing you're getting a following. So the good thing is where we're at now is that you don't like before everybody was like, oh, you got to do this, you have to have this overhead, you have to be here. Now we have the World Wide Web at our hand and we have social media, which cuts out a lot of the footwork and the groundwork that in the past we would have to go to. You don't have to be everybody used to be in the back in the day, they used to say, well, I want to go sign with a record company. Now you have so many independent artists that has been successful, like Chance the Rapper, without signing to a record company.
Yeah.
He's an independent artist, so, and he owns his masters. So just those type of people that have broken doors down just shows you that it can be done and accomplished.
Yeah. Talk about the, breaking down the doors, getting things accomplished. What were the biggest obstacles that you had when you were starting the radio station?
For me, it was like we had a chance to meet Vivica Fox. And even then, like it was priceless to me because she gave a message about she had just did a book tour, and she was saying how self-care, like that's key. And just you never give up on self-care, whether it's your looks, whether it's your mental state, or whatever it might be. But just taking care of self is really important. And just being able to connect with people. I know, like, due to COVID, we were supposed to go like to the Essence Festival and cover certain media outlets. So I mean, that's key to me, and being able just to continue to put our message out that, as a black woman that's owning a radio station, that there is a company out there that is willing to push your message.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, I love what you're doing. I think it's so great. Not only do you have the radio station, but you also have your own show. So what does your show focus on?
So my show is basically, so we give entrepreneurs. So when you're in a business and you're starting a business, marketing costs so much money. So I was like, what, I want to be able to give businesses a chance to come and talk about their business, tell their story, whether you're a business owner, a artist, a rapper, a actress, whatever you're doing, just give you free marketing to tell your story, and that's it. And that's the best part I like.
Great. I love it. Well, I'd love to be on your show. I'd love to be on your show.
You gotta come on.
So to the person who's graduating college right now, who is graduating into a totally different world, Paris, than we thought 9-10 months ago, what advice would you give them for following your dreams as someone who is following their dreams?
I would just say, I would tell them that one is just know where you're going. Don't let anybody tell you that, that's not, you can't go down road, or you're not going to make this money, or that's not, you can't accomplish it. Just know where you're going and stay focused on your dreams. And as long as you stay focused and you have the courage, you're going to be able to achieve it.
I love it. Yeah. And then it's sometimes it's so hard to stay focused on your dreams because there's to make your dreams come true, it's a lot of work. Right. And so you got to kind of, you got to have that daily hustle. How do you stay consistent?
For me, my drive is my kids, and just knowing that God put me here for another, to tell his message. I'm not going to sit here and say, I didn't have bad days. Again, I'm a single mama too. It was a struggle, you know what I'm saying? But just being able to know that I deserve more in life. I wanted more in life for me and my kids. That's what really keeps me grounded and keep me focused.
Yeah, I love it. Good. Yeah, we all need to. I love your message of, listening to your inner voice and knowing where you're going to be in 5 years and staying focused on your dreams and always be driven by not necessarily that you only want more, but that you deserve more. I'm a big fan. I love that you are, fighting for what you believe in. And I think more people need to do just that. You ready for a quick speed round, Paris?
Okay, let's try it.
All right. Best piece of wisdom you've ever received?
Love yourself.
It's a good one. Favorite book and why?
I don't have a favorite book.
Favorite TED Talk? Or
TED
article Talk. or anything, anything.
My favorite talk was just about businesses. Just knowing your business, knowing your 5 steps, keep pushing forward. That's my favorite talks.
Yeah, I love that. Fast forward 100 years, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want my legacy to be like a Rosa Parks, just knowing that, my life was for the fight for the greater good and forever the next generation to be able to have a better life than I did.
One piece of advice you would give somebody who's just feeling stuck?
Get unstuck. Don't be stuck. Everything that you see is not what it really is. So, don't believe what's in front of your eyes.
That's so good. That's a great thing to end on. I have a couple more questions, but that's such a good one. I don't want to waste that because I do think we all need to, the same level of consciousness that got us to where we are will not get us to where we want to be. And as we change our, perspective on things, our lenses change and we start to see things differently. Well, Paris, I can't thank you enough for being on the show. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you, how to get a hold of your radio station, your show, and all that other great stuff.
So our website is www.Diva Hustle Radio. On Instagram, you can look us up at Diva Hustle Radio. Facebook, Diva Hustle Radio, and also you could download our app in the Apple and Google store for Diva Hustle Radio.
I love it.
Thank you,
Paris. This was fun. I loved everything you had to share. I appreciate you being on the show today. If anybody's interested in getting in touch with Paris, please reach out to her or visit the website. It's scrolling, divahustlerradio.com. And I appreciate it. Keep on inspiring. Keep on, bringing change into the world. I love it. So thank you so much for being on the show. And thanks, everybody. Thanks for listening.